again, yo?
Okay, so I had this video all the way done. It was totally finished, and it just wasn't good. Like, I didn't have any energy, felt like I was completely unmotivated. I was angry, like lazy, whatever. I'm like, what's going on? What the hell? And then I realized it's 4:48 right now, and I haven't eaten anything all day. And I hope my mother hasn't started watching these videos because she would kill me if she figured out that I wasn't eating. Sorry, Mom, love you. But it got me thinking, like, hunger is a pretty interesting thing when it comes to mental health, right? It affects your mood, obviously, like in the short term, but also what you eat and your eating habits has an implications on like protecting yourself from things like Alzheimer's or major depressive disorder, and there's all kinds of research on that. And so right now I'm on the way to the grocery store. I'm going to pick up the ingredients to make this godly sandwich, this best sandwich that you've ever had in your entire life. And I'm going to use that, making it as B-roll for a conversation about like mental health and kind of the impact of food on mental health. And so if you're interested in either of those things, stick around. And if you're not, then stick around for the sandwich because I can invariably guarantee it'll change your life. Let's ride. Okay, so for the sandwich, just start by butterflying the chicken. It'll help it cook faster. We're going to bread it in a second anyway. But here's why this matters to you, right? Mental health is a combination of a million different things at once. And the more you know, the better you can help yourself and your loved ones just be better overall. So if you do find yourself in need of a doctor at any time, wouldn't you rather have a little bit of base knowledge about your options? That's why it's important here. And that's why understanding hunger and its effect on emotions and mental health and things like that can really help you in the long term. Because here we are, breading it like I promised. Some people have a wet hand and dry hand for this. I just have a do everything hand and don't get it dirty hand. So whatever you want, doesn't matter. I think it's a good place to start. What is hunger? Hunger in practice is an emotion, right? It's a mental reaction to stimuli. Anger is a reaction to an attack of sorts. Sadness can be a reaction to a loss. And hunger is a reaction to a couple things going on in your body. Your gut sends signals to your brain via hormones. Hormones like glucagon and ghrelin tell your brain, yo dude, we gotta eat, make this guy hungry so he gets us some food. Other hormones like insulin and cholecystokinin or CCK are released while we digest and turn off hunger, among other things. Also, your gut is lined with these receptors that act like sensors. When the gut is stretched, like when you're full, those receptors send a signal through a nerve called the vagus nerve to your brain. Those signals inhibit appetite or stop the feeling of hunger. It's more complicated than that, but essentially hunger is a response to needing food, needing the nutrients that come from food, or it just being your usual mealtime. Throw your breaded chicken in the hot pan and just listen to this. When I'm hungry for too long, I get pissed off. You might know it as being hangry. I get hangry bad. I always thought that hunger caused irritability, but some research shows hunger and negative emotions are more of a relationship than they are a cause and effect. One study measuring hunger in women showed that hunger could lead to negative emotions, which could lead to overeating, which in turn leads to more negative emotions, potentially creating this vicious cycle. That same study again showed hunger increased negative emotions and decreased positive emotions. So there might be a little bit of cause and effect there. So hunger is not just a response to a lack of food, but it can also be affected by our mood. Mood and hunger seem to work in a kind of dance, right, where they both affect each other. All this to say that if it's 4:30 p.m. and you haven't eaten anything all day and you're wondering why you're irritable and unmotivated, maybe eat something. I don't know. Work for me. Now, mood and mental health are different, and it turns out that the food you eat, like the diet, can have an effect on long-term mental health. Before we start that, I want to say a few things. First, I understand the realities of eating disorders, food insecurity, and obesity. Those are all different videos, and if you want me to find some research, then you have to let me know in the comments. Also, I see people on social media promoting all kinds of different diets, from vegan to carnivore to keto and paleo, whatever. I'm not going to be talking about a specific diet today, simply because what works for one person might not work for everyone. And instead of me making general claims that may or may not work for you, I'd rather you understand how food and mental health work together and then just make the best decision for yourself or your loved one. So let's talk about food and mental health. We'll start with your gut biome. In your gut, you have this little civilization going on. Hundreds of species of bacteria and microorganisms living together in your gut. It turns out that the health of that gut biome civilization thing has a real impact on mental health. Certain diets, especially those high in extra fats and sugars, can disrupt that civilization in your gut and result in decreases in things like memory function. It can create poorer cognitive flexibility. That's the ability to mentally process multiple things at once. It can increase hyperactive behavior or create altered social behaviors. Another study indicated that several psychological states influence hunger. Feeling active, lively, or restless turned out to increase hunger, while feeling distracted or slow thinking reduced hunger. Next is vitamin intake. Vitamin deficiencies or low levels of vitamins can have effects on mental health and brain health. For example, deficiencies in vitamin B12 can cause fatigue, lethargy, depression, poor memory, and is associated with mania and psychosis. Get your bacon out. Next is protein synthesis. Your body uses proteins for a million different things. One such protein is called BDNF, or brain-derived neurotrophic factor. It helps with the development, survival, and maintenance of your nervous system, and of course, your brain is a part of your nervous system. One study showed that diet and exercise in combination can increase BDNF levels and cognitive performance. Now, I don't know if the BDNF is the cause of the increased cognitive performance, but we can see that BDNF acts as an indicator or a kind of litmus test for mental health. For example, patients with major depressive disorder showed lower levels of BDNF than healthy patients did, and antidepressant treatment has been shown to increase BDNF levels as well. Okay, so for the sandwich, I put mayo on the bread, I put roasted red bell peppers, banana peppers, mozzarella, and balsamic glaze on it, and then add the chicken, the bacon, and throw it all together. It's the best thing you've ever had in your entire life. To wrap up the psychology of this, from what I know, psychiatrists and therapists are rarely going around asking, what are you eating every day? So hopefully this video shows you that diet and hunger are parts of the mental health puzzle. Now you know, so you can do something about it. You could put a diet plan together, you could just be a little more conscious of what you eat, you could talk to a nutritionist, do whatever you want. My job is just to deliver information. So that's it. Successful video for Carl. Good luck. You got this, and make this sandwich.